Yeah, and I think the one thing that I'm proud of, though, in some of the changes we made in Section 127 was reordering some of those. If you look down to Section 127 2E, making sure that achieving equitable outcomes for Māori students was placed at the very top of giving effect to the Treaty of Waitangi. I mean, that is so important. It's, if you want to honour the treaty, making sure that there are equitable outcomes for tamariki Māori is crucial. That's why we're doing all of the things that we're doing in our education reform package. That's why we've created every single resource in Te Reo Māori as well, because we're supporting a bilingual education system. If we're going to honour the treaty, we need to make sure there are equitable outcomes for Māori students. And I think we're doing more than any government in a very long time to achieve that. I have a Māori education group that sit around me, and I also talk to kura kaupapa regularly, na kura a iwi turanganui, te matakahoki regularly. I also talk to my ministerial advisory group, my Māori advisory group, who have seen all of these changes. They agree with me when I say that getting equitable and equal outcomes for Māori students, they don't believe it's being...
Point of order. Sorry, guys.
They've been through this and they know that my one of my top priorities is achieving equitable and equal outcomes for tamariki Māori, and they're helping me on our work program. And by reordering this and making sure equitable outcomes are at the very top to achieve, or making sure that we're giving effect to the treaty, the Te Tiriti, they're all on board with.
Can you give an example of what happens when one of the supporting objectives, like Te Tiriti Waitangi, does not meet the paramount objective?
When would that happen? I mean, the whole point of honouring the treaty is to make sure there are equitable and equal outcomes for Māori students. That's why we moved it to the top.
So
you haven't asked the question.
I actually really
I'm not
appreciate
sure
that answer. Thank you, Minister. I think that's really helpful to have that